Who isn't a fan of Isekai anime? Well, only those who don't watch any anime. In the previous year, we got some amazing Isekai anime that revealed a new world of the Isekai universe. Without any further ado, let's jump right into our Isekai saga. Number 7. Handyman Sato. Imagine you are a handyman who knows a great deal about picking locks. Why imagine when you are? Sato was in the same waters and everyone thought that he was useless. The customers paid even less than the average wage. The company's leader was also not impressed by him much and said that millions of people could replace Sato in an instant. After that, he's suddenly hit by a truck and the next moment, he's in a completely different world. Without any delay, he joins a party that has a wizard named Morlock, a fairy Lafapan, and a night girl Razel. The party goes into various dungeons and quests to make their living, and with a knowledge of the previous life, Sato was truly a gem here. He could open locks of doors and even treasure rare chests. This made him unique as the world didn't have a handyman. However, Razel had a soft corner for Sato, but she didn't show it. Razel follows Sato everywhere he goes and also feels jealous when he's talking to some other girl, just like your typical girlfriend. The old lad Morlock is not just a normal dude, but he's a level 80 wizard. He's still lame cause he keeps forgetting his spells, so Sato has to remember those. The fairy Lafa works for money, so whenever Morlock has to cure his back pain, he would have to give 1 gold coin. Why? Well, the moon goddess banishes them from the moon for being better than her in looks, so it's a curse. If Lafa doesn't sacrifice a gold coin in full moon, she will shrink to dust. The party is also impressed by Sato's cooking. One day, Sato kills an eel and cooks it. After eating the meat, the members felt like heavens. Sato's dream had come true as now he had friends who would look after him. Who cares for him and got his back? A ninja in that world falls in love with a witch, but to protect her and keep her alive, he has to become a villain, so he decides to take on the heroes in the dungeon. The party teams up with some other lads, and Kisurugi, the ninja, gets his 2 pals and they face off in a decisive battle against the heroes. Finally, the old lad Morlock remembers all his memories, how her family died and how his memory was erased. And it was at this moment the monsters knew they fucked. Morlock unleashes his magic and knocks out Kisurugi and his friends. That was one heck of a fight, and Sato stood victorious along with his party. If you want to watch an anime that doesn't have a strong body but a mind, this surely is the one to watch. Number 6. One Hit Kill Sister. The story begins with our main weakling character. His name is Asahi. A village is under attack by some little goblin bastards and are about to kill a little girl when the MC arrives at the scene. He's a weakling and can't kill the goblin, so just as he's about to be killed, the second main character, and a truly strong one, Maya, appears. She's Asahi's elder sister and an overpowered character who loves her little brother but also acts as a pervert. One day, Asahi gets killed while saving a little girl crossing a road. He's happy that he saved her, but the very next moment, he is reincarnated as himself in another world. The time is a little too old with no fancy gadgets, so Asahi sells his phone to get some gear. Then he goes to the Adventurers Guild to start his adventure where he meets the girl, Tanya. His first mission is to kill some rabbits, but a big dragon tries to kill Asahi. He throws a mighty blast at him and Asahi wishes his sister was here. At that moment, a portal appears and Maya comes out throwing a Superman punch at the dragon. The dragon is killed instantly and Asahi is so happy to see his sister. Turns out that Asahi was not dead, but in coma, and he was also talking about some other world. So his sister also smashes her brain to get into this world. The 2 siblings go into the town and get a house for rent. But you know his sister is a pervert, so she teases him a lot. The next day they see some heroes at the dragon level led by Surber to take on the demon. They are very strong but feel like toothpicks in front of the demon general. The demon general is Kilmaria, and she finds everyone a weakling in this universe. Asahi tries leveling up and his sister is always there to protect him. One day, Asahi is in the forest when a bear attacks him, but Kilmaria arrives and kills every bear in the vicinity. She doesn't consider Asahi as a threat, but at the same time, Maya also arrives. The 2 ladies fight off each other and start a decisive battle. They land their first blow, but both of them are surprised that they usually finish their opponent in a single blow. But Maya finally defeats her. The 2 siblings go back home and Maya starts her pervy acts. Asahi has a strong riz, so everyone likes him. The siblings then cover multiple quests and Maya also faces Kilmaria again to decide who is the more powerful one. Overall, it's quite a unique story where the main character is weak while her sister is a total op-chad with no limits to her power. Number 5. Sweet Reincarnation. Next up on our list is the sweetest reincarnation. Our main character here is Pastry. He is reincarnated into another world as a son of a noble family, where his family can copy other skills and even pain. Before that, he was just a regular dude who wanted to make delicious sweets, but one day, while competing for a competition, his giant phoenix made out of sugar fell onto him, killing him. And then he was reincarnated into this world. Pa's father, being a noble, also wants to make his song stronger, so her trains him with his swordsman skills. Mill looks skilled, but he's only thinking of the sweet dishes he wants to make. Pa knows the other world as well, so he wants to make the sweet kingdom he always dreamt of. But the news was spread that the 50 bandits have broken from the prison, and they are on their way here. Casserole, the noble head of the village, starts making preparations, but he barely has 30 men. However, Paz has the unique abilities of the other world, so he quickly draws out his plan that they can use to ambush the bandits. At night, Paz executes his mission, putting the bandits to shame that they lost to a little sneaky bastard. His father, Casserole, is pretty impressed by his son's abilities, but the village is poor, so they need money. They go to the neighboring kingdom and meet the queen. They tell them how the bandits escaped from their kingdom, and now the noble's village had to suffer. Paz starts his dirty negotiations, even dirtier than our politicians. The queen is shocked to see such a high level of intellect at such a young age, so she gives 150 gold coins to the father and son. Next up, the village starts prospecting because of Paz's knowledge of the previous world. Everyone suspects that Paz is responsible for all of this growth, and even his father is proud of him. Paz then starts printing ultra-realistic photos of people from high-rank noble classes to make a living out of it. He and his father then go to a duke's ceremony where they meet the prince. The sinister personality of Paz kicks in, and he makes an image of the other kingdom's princess, turning the ceremony into a proposal. This trick is quite helpful, as this will lessen the chances of the assassination of the nobles when traveling from one kingdom to another for marriage purposes. This was a healthy start of relations between various kingdoms, and Paz was the source of all of it. Then he starts his own dream of making the best sweets in the world, and licorice has become the fiancé of Paz. It is such a cute story and some unique Isekai style of a young boy following his passion, and the dishes in the anime make you crave more. Number 4, I am in love with a villainess. Rei, a typical old hat who does a casual job, but she's obsessed with the typical game called Revolution. She used to play it every single day, and her favorite character was the villainess Claire. The next day, she is hit by a moving truck. Well, that's some similarity in most of the Isekai anime. The moment she wakes up, she finds herself in the game she obsessed over. She is the main protagonist, but after seeing Claire there, she is delighted and confesses her love in an instant. Claire is annoyed, but she keeps bullying Rei. Rei thinks this is a form of Claire's love for her, and she is persistent that Claire submits to her. Claire is always bullying her, but Rei is always praising her. However, enough is enough. Claire says to leave her alone, and they make a bet. Rei says that if she beats Claire in the exams, she will have to obey of her wish. Next day, the exams start, and Rei does pretty well in the written test because she has been playing this game for too long. However, Rei is defeated by Claire in the eating and dressing exam. The last but not the least is the magic test, and everyone pisses their pants when they see that Rei has so much power that she's excluded from the list. Rei wins and beats Claire, and Claire can't believe it. Claire finally agrees to fulfill Rei's one wish, but Rei just tells her never to give up. A pretty pathetic wish. However, Rei's attribute attracts the prince of the school, but she just loves the villainous Claire. One day, Rei appears for the maid recruitment, but Claire is annoyed to see her. Claire's father arrives, and he can't disobey her princess's requests, so he rejects Rei as well. But Rei tells an anonymous name to her father that scares the crap out of him, so he hires Rei as Claire's personal maid. Rei gets more and more closer to her love life. Claire also blushes sometimes when she sees Claire around her, but doesn't show much. Finally, Claire also got some kind and soft side for Rei in her heart. In the end, we see Claire's personal assistant and maid betraying them to cast a war between the noble and commoners. But Rei and Claire take on the dragon beast summoned by them. It was a tough battle, but combining their powers, they managed to pull it off and stand victorious. This was their first victory as a love duo, but Claire still doesn't like Rei, or maybe she just doesn't want to show her affection. If you love ladies and some cool noble school with some magic and beast shit, this sure is an entertaining anime that you can watch on your weekends. But some scenes might trigger your parents, so try to skip those. Number 3, most heretical last boss queen. A little girl is running to her house to play her usual game, but as a custom, nothing new. A truck comes rushing at her, killing her in an instant. Why these Isekai anime always have a truck? The moment she wakes up, she is teleported to her favorite game. But in this anime, she is the main antagonist, a cold-blooded princess who has nothing to offer but suffering and pain. Pride thinks that she will become evil again, just like the game's story, so she vows to not become evil and get killed by her protagonist's sister Tara. Her father is the King Albert. She remembers how her parents were dead at a point, but they are still alive in the new world, and the maids are also shocked to see such a change in her. This boosts her courage, but she can change the story. The next day, she meets Stale, who's the son-in-law of Albert and has a strong teleportation power. He would go under a subordination contract with Pride so he wouldn't run away again, but Pride remembers how she corrupted her in the story to the extent that he killed his mother. Pride is disheartened to remember the story, so she changes her attitude and becomes kind to Stale. She allows him to write a letter to her mother and also visit her, and that, folks, is truly heart-touching. Stale takes an oath to protect his elder sister with his dear life. On the 6th birthday of Tara, every noble family arrives at the castle to attend the ceremony. Everyone admires Tara and tells her that she's just like her mother. Pride is a bit jealous but remembers her evil story, so she just laughs it off in the ceremony. She is also renounced as the new heir of the king. The next day, Pride watches the knight's training and the captain isn't there. Then a knight comes rushing to Pride, telling Captain Clark that Captain Rodri is under attack. Pride, along with Stale, goes to look after the operation, where she sees that the knights are pinned by a group of men. Pride quickly orders Stale to teleport her into the battlefield, but he's hesitant. However, He agrees, and it was at this moment they knew the fup. Pride pounces on them like a level 100 dungeon boss and kills all of those bastards one by one. Everyone is shocked to hear that she's the queen with such powers at just 13. Then the Captain Knight's son, Arthur, moves to tears, and Pride encourages him to become a knight soon. This develops his soft side for Pride in Arthur's heart. Then he starts training to be with Pride one day. Then Pride goes on to become the best princess she ever could, but she still thinks that she would become an eel queen. However, Pride, Stale, and Arthur make a memorable team, saving a bunch of people like Gilbert's wife, Keith, and Spell, and a bunch of other kids. The series ends, and we see that Pride and the gang are very happy with how things turned out, but Pride still isn't sure whether she will become Rouge or not. Number 2, Monster but Wild. Imagine how beautiful it would be if you were sent to another world without getting hit by a truck and dying. That's what happened to Dom while he was playing his favorite video game, Azure Sky. It was the 10th anniversary and the game had launched unique quests. After completing the quest, he and his friends are given treasure chests, but Dong receives just a letter. Dong accepts it without reading it, and the very next moment he is sent into his game reincarnated as the weakest of the weakest, a level 1 skeleton. That's the start of his amazing journey where he takes an oath to become the strongest. However, he's so weak that even a level 1 slime can beat the crap out of him. But Dong has 10 years of experience in the game, so he uses other players to level up and finally takes his revenge on the slime after going on level 5. He has a couple of skeleton warriors as his friend, but to become a real human again, he has to get promoted, so he farewells his friends and goes alone. But the village doesn't allow monsters to enter, so now he has to get tamed by a beast tamer. He goes to the grounds where he finds Bubbles, a new player in the game, and just as she is taming a slime, Dong pushes it away and takes his place as the tamed monster. Bubbles is heartbroken as she wants a cute beast and calls Dong ugly. Then the two go on to complete their quest and become the strongest in the fantasy world. They take part in the Godhead adventure where they have to complete multiple tasks and become the top ranked in the Azure Sky. They complete the first stage with a bit of hassle from other players, while the second stage is yet announced because the first one isn't finished yet. In the meantime, a girl named CC asks Bubbles if she wants to sell Dong, but she refuses, that she won't sell him even for 100 million gold. But CC was offering 500 million gold coins. In the end, the party resolves to become the best of the best and win the Godhead tournament. This truly is an amazing story showing how they started as just some random players and now they are about to become the strongest adventurers the game ever had. Number 1. The Great Cleric. Lucio is a normal salesman who is just about to be promoted by his boss, but it was this moment that ruined his life. While passing by a shop, a thief accidentally shoots him, putting an end to his promotion as well as his death. The next moment, he realizes that he has been reincarnated into a game as a healer, and dragon hovering over scares the shit out of him. Finally, he goes to the nearby town, and that's where he meets Lucima, the captain of the female paladin in the kingdom. She takes him to the Healers Guild, and his journey starts as the best healer of the world. Lucio wants to attain much in a lesser time, so he cracks the spells with no time to breathe. But his other stats, like the defense and attack, were pretty low, and this could be fatal in a critical situation. So Lucio decides to train his other attributes as well. But in the meantime, he encounters a couple of heroes who have severely been injured. Lucio quickly heals them up, but just as he is about to cure the last person, he runs out of mana, collapsing onto the ground, and the last hero also dies. Lucio is heartbroken but swears that it will not happen again. Then he goes to the Adventurers Guild, where he meets his trainer Broad, who is more like an uncle. He teaches him how to train like a knight and a gladiator. Lucio quickly jumps through the levels to become a strong adventurer and also explore the world to make a good image as the best healer of the world. That's it for today, folks. If you want more Isekai anime, let us know in the comments.